MDLN just teleported my people. This move is a pilgrimage. Welcome to Dayrade Daily, where we turn intraday insanity into slightly less catastrophic decisions, while the market does parkour around us.
MDLN ripping over 438% is not a stock move. It is a boss fight. And this is Dayrade Daily, where we speedrun gaps with actual risk plans. So smash like and subscribe before volatility sends us a therapy invoice.
438% somewhere. A long-term investor just uninstalled their broker. We are breaking down how to actually trade this thing without becoming the liquidity sacrifice of the day.
And it is not just MDLN, DVN, COP, OXXYAR. The whole energy complex is pretending gravity is optional. So we will hit entries, exits, and how not to mash buy at the emotional high of the candle.
Exactly, my people. Today is pure chaos. MDLN going divine, DVNCOP and OXY starting an oil cult, plus GME, CMG, and even boring Jaws catching strays. So buckle in, hit that like button like a stop loss, and subscribe before Grizz retires to his garden forever.
Okay, MDLN first, because my heart rate monitor started flashing Latin. This is a healthcare moonshot with volume like somebody copy-pasted a biotech mania chart from another timeline.
MDLN is basically a small-cap healthcare name, catching a clinical headline plus squeeze. Shorts were crowded, the float is not huge, and when news hits, you get forced buying, layered on top of retail chasing candles.
Translation. MDLN is a thin rocket where people forget risk exists. Intraday play is either tiny size scalp off clean pullbacks, or you watch from a safe distance and pretend patience was your plan.
My MDLN disciples, listen. You do not market buy the top wick of a 438% candle. You let first range set in, then wait for a reclaim or higher low, so the chart blesses you, not punishes you.
Yeah, opening range on MDLN was a blender. I sat there, finger on the trigger, and my risk rules just appeared in my brain like a pop-up, saying, bro, no.
Growth moment for Jet. Intraday tip, people. If the spread on MDLN feels like a rent payment, cut your size in half or take screenshots instead. Your account will send a thank you letter later.
Also remember, average volatility today is over 739%. Even boring names have boss fight candles. So MDLN is like stacking chaos on top of chaos.
Speaking of chaos, DVN, COP, and OXY are throwing an oil party. Energy sector is the new meme this week, my people. Everything is green, like it discovered pre-market espresso.
DVN ripping over 53% and COP over 46.2% is nuts. Did crude oil just get a gym membership? Or did someone leak a macro report into a Discord again?
It is simple energy rotation. You had supply headlines. Plus everyone remembers these companies print cash when prices spike. So DVN, COP, OXY, AR all get panic chasing from funds and day traders.
Intraday, these energy names were classic opening drive, then pullback setups. Big gap, then they tested prior resistance zones and either held for trend continuation or failed for quick scalps back toward volume gravity.
My favorite was OXY. The reclaim of intraday high after that first pullback was a spiritual. Long, you take smaller size, let the trend cook, and suddenly you are the main character in energy land.
I scalped DVN like a goblin. Tiny size, multiple attempts only when it bounced off clear levels. If it stalled more than 3 candles, I bailed because I like keeping my buying power.
Look at Jet using stop losses. World is truly ending. Quick tip on these energy rockets. Do not short first spike just because the candle looks tall. Wait for lower high plus weakness, or you become educational content.
Also, AR sneaking over 32.5% fits the same theme. Gas and liquids names riding the macro narrative, so you treat them as correlated plays, not random lotto tickets.
Correlated, yes, but my people do not make the portfolio of doom, where you long DVN, COP, OXY, and AR full size. That is not diversification. That is 4 ways to tilt the same direction.
Speaking of doom, GME quietly juiced over 33.7%, and social feeds turned into a retro meme revival. Reddit is role-playing 2021 with worse risk management.
Meme archaeologists are back. Intraday GME was pure breakout chase and liquidity trap around prior levels. You either respected risk, or you became the spike candle for someone else's exit.
I watched flow on GME, and it was classic social sentiment overflow. Short-dated calls blasting in thin size, which tells you it is more crowd FOMO than deep conviction. So you scalp around clear zones only.
To every new trader who thinks GME is a retirement plan, remember, a trading account is not a casino. Loyalty card, treat meme names like side quests, not the main storyline.
Speaking of side quests, CMG popped over 37.6%, like Burrito Beta went parabolic, and I tried to scalp it, even though my diet and my risk plan both said no.
Of course you did. CMG intraday was a clean trend name, earnings expectations plus sentiment. So pull back to reference levels, then go with strength, not against it unless you like spicy drawdowns.
For contrast, GIS sliding while still up over 33.8% recently shows defensive names can join the party. But they give smoother structure, so newer day traders might actually prefer those over wild tickers like MDLN.
Exactly. Some of you want MDLN fireworks, but your account is built for GIS candles. And that is okay. Play the league you are in, my people. And hey, if this is helping, hit like so the algo does not fade us.
Also NTNX, barely moving, only about 4%. But the tape was super clean, range-bound morning, then break. So you could treat it like a technical textbook instead of a heart attack generator.
Yeah, names like NTNX are underrated. Smaller move, but easier read. You take opening range breakout or VWAP reclaim, and you are not praying through every candle like you are in a horror movie.
FIG and PSLV, both flying near 40% plus, tech infrastructure and silver exposure, catching macro narratives together. That is your reminder. Correlation is sneaky when volatility is this ridiculous.
Correlation sneaky. My rent is obvious. Trading tip disguised as a joke. Do not revenge trade PSLV because FIG worked earlier. That is how you turn one good idea into a 3-trade losing streak.
Speaking of streaks, social feeds today look like a fever dream. On Thursday, December 18th, 2025, the market basically said rules are canceled, and Reddit said bet. And now we are here, trying to keep your accounts alive.
And since we clearly cannot fix macro, bold prediction lightning round time, MDLN either adds another 100% tomorrow or gives back half the move. Nothing in between. Pick your poison, but size like an adult.
My call DVN gaps over another 20% at open, then spends all day chopping 5-cent ranges just to punish anyone with expectations. Pure psychological warfare.
COP prediction, Energy Code Edition. If this keeps going, influencers start calling it the new savings account, while real traders quietly scalp pullbacks and pretend they are not horrified.
I will say NTNX becomes the surprise hero. No drama, steady grind. Traders discover it late, and forums start posting 12-paragraph threads about disciplined breakouts while ignoring every rule in practice.
GME prediction multi-haul day, where price barely moves because halts eat the whole session. Chat rooms still spam rocket emojis, while scalpers quietly switch back to FIG and PSLV.
Final prophecy. My people, PSLV becomes the unofficial caffeine index. Silver upstreamers. Wired. And as long as you manage risk, you can stay weird with us. Tap like, subscribe, and we will see you next session before volatility calls your boss.